What's in my toolbox? Today I'm going to be talking about the Vivitar 650-1300mm f8-16 series telephoto zoom lens. Now I thought when I purchased this lens that I might be able to capture some really stunning photos, and turns out, you know, the photos are okay. They're not the best, and let me explain that. Now I've used this lens just so I can go out there and I can shoot from a distance, and I'm thinking, oh, I might capture some real cool stuff. I've actually captured some interesting stuff, but it's not enough to say that they're really the best quality. And for the lens worth $199 in Amazon, I mean, it will be just a lens just for you to play with. And you know, when I originally bought this, I was thinking, oh, it's an interesting lens, maybe I can check it out. So I ended up just buying it for the sake of testing it. I've done several videos on my channel where I've taken out in the field and I talk about certain things, from night photography to capturing snow caps, and feel free to check them out down below, and I'll talk about it even further. Now, when I bought this several years ago, I think this is about a 5-year-old lens now. I bought this for my Canon DSLR, and I got the EF mount here. So this is the Vivitar T mount for Canon, and so we screw that on. And one thing is, whenever I use this thing tends to spin out, and I'm just not quite happy with that. Then I upgraded my camera to a Sony mirrorless, so I needed to buy a different adapter. So this is the Photo Diox Pro to the EF mount, and so that's gonna go here, and that communicates with my Sony. You see that, how it just spins out like that? So not the most ideal. This lens will give you a pretty interesting distance. When I shot the moon, I put it on a heavy duty tripod. I'm going to emphasize that. Put this on a heavy duty tripod. If you have a cheap tripod and for any reason this shakes just a tad bit from the wind, you're going to have blurry images. You need a heavy duty tripod that will make sure that this thing does not move whenever you have it on sticks. Daytime, you can get away with it because you have a lot of light that you can speed up your shutter speed in your camera, and you can get it sharp. Not sharp enough to my taste. It's not the most sharpest, but you get a decent amount of sharp to it. Let's go dive into it a little bit further. So this is the focus part of this lens. I would suggest, if you're using this lens, to have an additional monitor. Looking through a small screen through your monitor can be a little bit difficult. So I have a big monitor, a 7-inch monitor that I plug into my mirrorless camera to help me with the focus. There's times I can look at the viewfinder and I think I'm getting it focused, but it's just not quite there. So having those extra features on your monitor, like zoom in and, you know, that helps me focus even more. So if you wanted to like shoot from a distance, you just unlock this and then you can expand out. You see that? So now you're at a distance of 1300. So if you're gonna lock it, you go turn to the left. To unlock, turn to the right. Do that and lock. Now this thing, this ring right here, is just so this can lock in place, which is the mounting point right here. So this just locks in place. So built well as far as metal. It's a really durable type of lens. I've never dropped it, thank God. But I would highly advise, if you are actually gonna do handheld work, you find yourself to get some rest in between, because if you have the body here and you have the lens here, and if you decide to just handhold it, it's gonna get you tired within a few minutes. Now, solution to that is put it on a tripod, but be very careful, because if you mount your body here and then underneath is a tripod, the weight of this thing could snap off, especially you have an adapter that's cheap like this. So you need to find a way to have a frontal camera support that ties into the body of the camera here to kind of balance the weight out. If you decide to put the tripod here, depending on the weight of your body, that could also create an issue back here. So I prefer two things. One is hand holding it if I'm shooting in the daytime. Two, have a lens support in the front, and that's what I've been doing. So other than that, this is not the best lens, but it's an interesting lens to use and to talk about it in YouTube. You know, I've had some people suggest, why don't you just shoot time lapse of the moon? I have just not got around to it, but I should do that. What I have done this for is shooting people from a distance, so that way I don't invade their space. I was creating content for a different platform, and they needed some images of people from the streets, and I was across the street where they didn't know I was photographing them, but I was able to capture some street photography there. I also used this when it was snowing in Los Angeles towards the mountains, and I was able to capture the snow caps and the mid-ground of the palm trees and have them converge a little closer. So that's what the zoom lens will help you with. Other than that, for the price of $199 in Amazon, it's an okay lens. There's probably way better lenses out there that you can invest for more art types of lenses. But if you want something to showcase like some kind of zoom for an affordable price, this is the way to go. I would suggest, if you're going to go on a zoom, go professional. You know, those $1,000 type of lenses, I would not go with this. You're going to have a hard time using it with the focus, with the weight, with the sharpness. It's just got some things that have flaws, but for the price, this is what you get. So if you guys have any questions down below, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.